Hi everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks so much for joining me for another Fun Fold Friday. Today we're going to make a Bendy Fun Fold card. I've seen a lot of these. I don't know who the originator is, but isn't this cool? It sits up, so when you're looking at it sitting on a shelf or table or whatever, this is what it's going to look like. So it's kind of a 3D look. It's really cute. This one I would say is for a wedding. Wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. I love this paper. I'll show you that in a minute. And on the other side, I have a panel with just the flower. And I didn't color it in. I thought it was elegant the way it is. And then a place where you can write. But it does fit in an envelope, so it flies flat. But then it stands up like this. So this is from my May calendar. This is the first week of the May calendar. You should have received it yesterday in the mail if you are a subscriber. If not, just subscribe. There's a link below and you can get this every month. So the Bendy Fun Fold card, and I have all my color combos and sketch and ideas. Next week, new catalog and new online exclusive launch on Tuesday. So stay tuned. I hope you're loving some of the new products. This is a new product here. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you along with that, you received, if you did get a catalog from me, you would have received this. Otherwise, it's in my emails. I do an annual catalog designer series paper share every year where you get a quarter of a pack of the new papers. And I'm including some of the new online exclusive papers too. So there's a list here. I'll have a link to this below as well. You can sign up for it. It's $45 and you'll get 96 sheets of the new paper. And I'll also include 10 new in color bases. So you'll have 2 of each of 5 colors. Okay, so there's some details here. Again, I'll have a link to that. And then I also every year do an in color club. So every year Stampin' Up! Comes out with 5 new in colors and they retire the ones from 2 years before. So these colors will last for 2 years. And they just rotate them in and out, and it's really nice. So this year we have Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, and Secret Sea. This is Cloud Cover, and this is Secret Sea, which is a really beautiful, dark, kind of a black. So I highlighted them on this. And what you can do if you want to join my In Color Club, you can email me. It's $60 a month, and it's a 5-month commitment, and you'll get a full pack of cardstock, an ink pad, an ink refill, a Stampin' Right marker, the 6x6 designer series paper in these colors. There's a faux linen ribbon and in color flat pearls. And then if you at the end of that, I will send you a free foiled frames and labels and Amphira pack. I don't know how to say that word. I struggle, which is an $8 value. So either of those, I will have links below. If you want to ask me any questions about it, just leave me a comment or email me, Patty at pspapercrafts. So I just wanted to show you the new in colors. I have all the cardstocks. So again, this is Cloud Cover. It's kind of like a blue-gray. It's really beautiful. This is Secret Sea. This is Timid Tiger. Then we have Strawberry Slush and Darling Duckling. Okay, so those are the colors. So each month you'd get all of those things for a specific color. All right, so on to the product I used for this card. We'll put this aside here. So this paper is just gorgeous. This we did get at... Did we get it at On Stage? I believe we did, and it was really kind of a wow. It's not everybody's taste. They look like paintings, but this is the papers. I hope you can see them. And some of them, let me take this off. Some of them have scenes. So there's the background. And it's funny because this one, I had planned to use the background and I cut it, or the back side of the paper. And then when I laid it, I thought, oh, this is gorgeous, especially for a wedding. I thought it was just so pretty. But see, there's nice scenes, but they almost look like they were hand painted. Just beautiful. And this style isn't for everyone. I do love it. Look at how pretty that is. So that is what I used for this card. And then I used the Secret C for the ink. And I used these for some reason in the mail. They got all kind of messed up. These are pressed flower motifs. And this is all part of this suite. And then there's the Gallery Blooms, which I got this. And then the beautiful motifs, which I did the Celebrate and the Wishing You Love and Happiness That Lasts a Lifetime. There's also coordinating dies. So this is one big suite. The paper, the two bundles, and the dots. And then there's an embossing folder, which is really beautiful. It's like a damask design. And so the, let's see, Gallery Blooms. So these have dies that will cut out these flowers. And then there's some extra dies that you can just cut from cardstock. And then this I love. These dies, they're just, they don't frame any of the stamps, but I use this one. It reminds me of, is it Queen Anne's lace? Is that how you say it? But this, it's beautiful, sweet. And I love these kind of dies that you can just cut with paper, cardstock. Okay, so that is this whole suite here. Let me put that aside because, of course, we're going to use different products today just to show you something different. So today we're going to use this woven textured. Now these products are available. This is an online exclusive, and this paper is just, I don't know, I just really love it. It's like baskets. It's really cool. Very neutral, great for masculine cards, and we're not going to make a masculine card, but I think it's pretty. And we're using the You Are Remarkable with it. We're going to do Friends Are Like Flowers of the Garden of Life. I love all of these. You are remarkable in every single way. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. So I love these sentiments. And then we're going for this strip around. We're going to use the Textured Notes. Goes with this paper. You are seriously the best. So these are the products. I'm using just crumb cake as my card base. So the card base and all of the directions and instructions, measurements, all of that will be in a link below. There's something called a project sheet. If you look below the video in the description, there'll be a bunch of links. One is the project sheet. So this is the card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's an A2 size card, but there's no, it's just a flat layer. Okay. And then we have our designer series paper from that woven textured. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. Pretty standard. And we're going to just adhere this down. Isn't that pretty too? So hard to decide. And that's what I did when I made this. I really was going to use the other side. And then when I laid it out, I was like, oh, but this side is so pretty. It's very, as I said, elegant, I think. So we're just going to adhere this down with a little border, just like you would do any layer on the card. Okay, and once you do that, then we're going to score it. So let me get my trimmer out, move my scoring blade up, or my cutting blade up, and then we are going to score this at 2 3/4, which is right smack in half. And this is how it's going to fold. And you want to do it once you adhere this down so that it's all in the same exact place. So let's just do this. And I'm not even going to use my bone folder. I want it to fold, but I don't want it to be so creased that you can see it, if that makes sense. Okay, then let's put that aside. And then we have this piece, which is this kind of matte piece. And this one is 5 by 3 1/4, 5 by 3 1/4. And we are going to score this on each end at 1/2 inch. So we'll go over to 1/2 and score it. And then we'll turn it and go to 1/2 and score it. So now these will fold this way. Okay, and then this here is 4 inches once you take that 1/2 inch off. And we're going to do the same kind of thing where we're going to adhere a layer to it, and then we're going to score it again. So let's put this aside. This I will get my bone folder out for and really make sure that's folded down good. And then there's these are my back pieces, so I'm going to put those aside. We'll talk about that later. But this one is 3 by 3, and there's 3 3/4 by 3, so it will fit nicely here. So yeah, 3 3/4 by 3. But before we put it down, let's do our stamping. So I did want to stamp the flower, and I'm not going to do, this is a 2-step stamping where you can do the flower and then you could fill it and then you can put the inside in and then you can put the leaves on it. I'm just going to stamp it and color it with Stampin' Blends, okay? So since I'm coloring with Stampin' Blends, I want to use my black Memento ink, and let's get the flower out. And it's not going to fit on here, and actually let me think. I'm going to do the sentiment first so I know where to put the flower. I'm trying to decide what color I want the sentiment in. I think I will do it in the black. Whoops, I moved the wrong thing out of the way. I meant to move that out of the way. So let's get this inked up. Friends are flowers in the garden of life. Okay. So I'm just going to put it right over here, and then we'll make the flower fit in this area. Okay, so now let's go back to this. I feel like I have to re-ink this ink pad. But I'll tell you, that Secret C just stamps so nicely. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. I really like it. It's like a black, but it's somehow softer. Let's see. Let's do it like this. And I was wondering if we should do the bee. There's this little bee. Let's see how that would look. So I'm trying to see what it looks like. Let's do it right in that area. I just want to see how it looks. All right, let's see. Okay, so now let's color it. I have my blends. I'm going to use light Blackberry Bliss for the flower, and then yellow Dark Daffodil Delight for the inside. So if you didn't get a catalog, starting on May 6th when it goes live, I will have a link on my blog. If you go to www.pspapercrafts.com, you can see that link and see the online catalog. If you want a hard copy, you need to email me. I sent out a whole ton of them already to people who have purchased from me. But just email me if you want one. The other thing I wanted to say is, I don't know if you've been shopping and using the new rewards program, but today and tomorrow, they're doing 2 times the points, the reward points. So once your order hits $20, you start earning rewards. You get 10%. So they're doubling that just May 2nd and May 3rd. So depending on when you're watching this, you may or may not catch it. So let's see, a little bit more here, and then we're done. I love coloring with stamping blends. And if you follow me, you know that Blackberry Bliss is my favorite color. So, and there's Bailey snoring away. It wouldn't be a video if I didn't have a snoring dog. I'm probably going to stop this and wake him up, send him to another room or something. We went for a long walk today, so he's pretty beat. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, he's gone for now. So let's do the inside of this in Dark Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to do a little bit on this bee. Okay, the bees are out like crazy. And then I have light old olive for the leaves and the stem here. And the stem is just so thin, so we just barely touch it. Just like this. All right, and then we'll do the leaves. Okay, I'm running out of ink on this. So these alcohol markers, eventually they will dry out, and I do use old olive quite often. And you have to just purchase new ones. You can't refill them. The other markers, the Stampin' Write ones that are water-based, those you can refill with your ink refills, but these you can't, so sorry about that. So now we're going to adhere this down right on our crumb cake layer. And this is, you know, just pretty kind of a neutral card, which sometimes I do like them. I like the bright colors, but it's nice to have kind of a natural looking look. So now this one we want to also score. So this was 3 3/4, and then we did, was that 3 3/4? I'm sorry, the white was 3 3/4. So this piece was trying to look for it here. 3 1/4 by 5. Is that right? 5. Yeah. So 3 1/4 by 5, and then we scored it at a 1/2 inch on either side. So now this piece is 4. So we want to score this in half. So 1/2 of 4, we're going to score it at 2. And again, I'll have all these instructions. And I leave this open, but you need to have this closed so you can get to the 2 mark. Okay. And then you want to score this. It's kind of a weird thing to do, to score in the middle of your layer there, but, and then we're going to fold it. And again, I didn't use the bone folder on this. We're just kind of folding it so that it will bend. Okay, and now this is going to adhere here, and you want this score line to meet this score line. And it might be hard to see on camera, but you'll see it in person. So we want to, I'm going to use liquid glue so that if I need to move it around, I can, to get it lined up. So we're just going to put glue on both of these like flaps or tabs or whatever you want to call them. And we want to line this fold with this fold, and we want to go kind of even from top to bottom. I want to make sure, it's very hard to see these folds. Let's make sure. Yep. Okay. Make sure it's straight. Okay. Now on this card, I didn't put a layer, but I think on this card I want to put a layer of the Designer Series paper. If I can pick it up. Come on. What do you think? Should I put the layer on or should I leave it off? I feel like it looks naked. This color I liked, but I feel like this one, we need to add this. So let's add that. I'm thinking maybe before we add it, let's do our scoring on this. So this piece is 1 inch by 6 inches, and we're going to score on either end at 1/4 of an inch. So it's just a little tiny. So let's see, my thing is getting dirty here. So this is 1/4 of an inch. And then this is 1/4 of an inch. So it was 6 inches, and we took off 2/4, which is 1/2. So now it's 5 1/2, which is, surprise, the width of this card. Okay, so it'll fit, whoops, wrong card. It'll fit like this. So I was thinking this is 5 1/2. So I cut this down to 5 1/4. All right, so we'll have a little kind of border around this as well. Okay, and this is going to sit here. And let's put a sentiment on. Now I said I wanted to use the sentiment from that other stamp set, the textured notes. You are seriously the best. And let's just do that in the black as well. So let's get the black Memento ink. Let's just make sure this is straight. So I sometimes will test it on my grid paper to see if it's straight, and it is. You are seriously the best. And this is a 1/2 inch strip. I mean, this is, what is it? By 4 1/2, but I'm going to cut it down. So let's get our snips. I'm just going to cut it a little bit here and a little bit here, and then we'll do our bannering. So cut down the center and then cut into the where it meets. Okay. And then this one. Okay. Phew. If you know me, you know I don't like doing that. All right. So now what we're going to do is put a couple of dimensionals in the middle, because we want this to kind of pop. You see how it's not stuck all the way? So let me get my dimensionals out. And we'll just put 2 on. Should we do 3? We'll do 3. Make it nice and secure, but just kind of in the middle. And then take the backs off. And then we want to put this, center it in the middle as best we can. All right, now we're going to adhere this down. And we're just about done. We just have to do the back. And we want this to match up right to the corner, all along the bottom and to this corner, and it should all line up. And that's why I'm using the liquid glue, just so I have that time to maneuver it if I need to. So there we go. I don't want to do it too much until this glue is set. So this is what it'll look like. So then we have to do the back. And, you know, on this one I did 1 panel. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just do the 1 panel with the flower. and then I'll do the other panel where you can write your little note. So let's get that flower back. I mean, you could put another sentiment back there if you wanted to. We'll just stamp this. And then I'll speed it up to color. I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did on the front, so you don't need to watch that. Let me just speed that up. Okay, I did have another old olive, so this one I'm going to throw away so I don't use it again. So now we'll just put these on the back of this and we're done. Well, I guess we should put some bling on it. Maybe I'll use those same gems that I used on this other card. They're really pretty. I'll show them up close. So put this on this side, kind of like it's the inside layer, and then this one on the other side. And you don't even have to do this if you don't want to. I always like to have a place to write, and some cards just don't give you that place. There you go. All right, so let's get some of these out. So these are, they're called the pressed flower motifs, and they're, I don't know if you can see it, but they have like a pressed flower in it. So I think they're really pretty. Let's get our take your pick tool, and I'm trying to think where I want to put them. I never know where to put them. I think on this one, I might just go right down, or should I put it up there? I'll put it here. I already started. Whoops. Yeah, they're kind of like a mess on here for some reason. They got all in the mail. Now, should I put it here like this or down? I'm going to go down. So I feel like it goes with this flower. Pretty. All right, so these are called Bendy fold cards. And if you look on Pinterest, you'll see there's a whole bunch out there. So again, I don't know who to give the credit to on this one, but I think they're pretty. This is what they look like if you were looking at them standing up. And then very pretty. So thanks for joining me. Again, don't forget, today and tomorrow, 2 times your rewards once you hit $20 on an order if you want to order. I'd love for you to have you order with me. I have a link to my online store below. And then if you were interested in the In Color Club or Designer Series paper share from the new catalog, just email me, Patty at pspapercrafts.com, and I will have a link below with some details. And subscribe to my email list if you want to get my calendar. All right, thanks so much. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Take care. See you next week.